That's the coffee speaking. It's always the coffee speaking. I am controlled by the coffee. The coffee does not agree with the sentence. Hi everyone, I'm Airier, and today we're going to be looking at the last episode of Log Horizon Abridged by Fat Dog Studios. This is episode 12, part 2. I don't really know what to say here because it's so rare for an abridged series to end. And normally I would reference at this point Konosuba Abridged from Lord Daedrith because that actually ended. Until the second season of Konosuba was announced, which was kind of surprising because it had been years since that show originally ended the first season. And it's like, okay, well, I guess they're making a second season, which was a joke until they made the first episode of the second season. So that's not ended the show anymore. So I'm just going into this going, there is apparently a shrinking pool of ended abridged series. And this is one of them. So we're just going to jump right in and see where this goes. To everyone at Fat Dog, thank you for making an awesome ride. This is really a fun series to check out, and just watching as your animation styles and your edits and your voice acting improves and you start to take over your own audio effects and your own audio production, specifically the music. I mean, the voice acting has actually been pretty damn good consistently, but just making your own music for some parts and then freelancing and getting other people to do it, and just some of the crazy effects you pulled in are really damn good, and I really appreciate it. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, this is good shit. There's a link below to the original video. Hit it up. And when you're done, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe here, because the thing that I'm pretty sure my future self will just dick around with and not actually put up a subscriber graph is going to show that only 70% of the people watching this are unsubscribed. I know, shocking. Most people have it at, I don't know, insert number here. I know, crazy, isn't it?
Well, that sucked. 3 bosses at once? It's just unfair.
They didn't die.
God damn it.
It's just a game, man. Relax.
Are you stupid or something?
What?
It's not a game anymore.
I am 30 seconds in, and I'm including the bit of spoilers for Check Infinity Line at the beginning. And 2 things I did not expect to happen have happened. The asshole who was going full warlord is like, dude, it's just a game. No one cares. It's like, no, you were explicitly treating like it wasn't a game. And then Natsuko being smart. Well, they're definitely ending the series here. Wow.
More. It's as real in here as out there, and no one wants to get out more than me.
Also, his glasses
but
broke.
You love it
I
here.
didn't know they could do it.
At first, yeah, because I got time away from my ex-wife. I was just glad for some peace for a bit, but now it's been over 6 months.
Oh, wow, it's been that long?
6 months without seeing my daughter. They're in America
Oh.
with my ex-in-laws. It just turned 2019.
Wait, is that why?
Yes! And I don't want to lose any of my memories of her.
Holy shit.
They live in Palm Beach right now, and I can't talk to them. Do you know what happened there in August? Or nearby in February? Because I do, and I'm scared for them. I put on that stupid act because it's safe. For a little while, I'm not a scared, panicked father. I'm just another brave tank, leaping into danger head first to protect everyone like I wish I could do in real life right now. And the reason Marielle and I are together is because she's there when I start breaking down.
My bad, man.
How long has this been going on? And why didn't I know?
6 months and
I
you
didn't
didn't
want
ask.
to add any more pressure to you. You've been trying to find a way out of here this whole time, right?
Yeah?
So I told Akatsuki not to tell you.
Wait, Akatsuki knows?
Oh. Okay. So, that just happened. I think the craziest part about this is this entire genre of, I'm not even just going to count as abridging here, but just anime in general and manga and basically any form of story where it's, we're going to be trapped in the game. It's always like, yeah, it's going to be kids who are about at the age where they're about to become independent from their family. So they're going to have that sense of being on their own. And it's kind of bad to be apart, but it's also not nearly as scarring because they're at that point in their life where it's early, but it's also something that's going to happen. And this is a taste of freedom that they're going to have eventually. So it's not as life scarring. Move it forward a few years to where Natsuko is. And this is actually really something that I'm surprised very few other mediums have really tackled. And I don't mean this as a slight to the others. It's great. Usually their protagonists, though, just are not in a situation, and I can't believe I'm saying this in reference to Natsuko, mature enough to have anything this emotionally tied into their life, because it's just not something that would have happened. And getting away from the ex-wife, okay, yeah, sure, there's a joke in there somewhere, which I'm pretty sure they've made. Losing his daughter in the process, and then coming to grips with the fact that not only is she going to be with the ex-wife, who he's not okay with, and I don't even remember what happened at the beach in when did Fukushima happen? You know what? Just to make this less horrible on my end, I'm going to assume that he's not responding to anything other than there was a beach, and he knows there was a beach, and maybe there was something happened, and it's not the reference to the trifecta of an earthquake that triggered a tidal wave that triggered a nuclear meltdown in a reactor in Fukushima, Japan, where he's technically may or may not be located. Because I'll be honest, that takes missing your daughter to, oh my God, literal hellscape is where my daughter is, and I can't even see it. Yeah, no. Well, I need to give him and Marielle a lot more credit. Yeah, I'm just going to pretend that's not actually the case. If it is, okay. If it isn't, oh, thank God. Because that makes sense. This is in the right time zone. It's in the right location. We don't exactly know where in Japan they started. I don't know where Fukushima is because I don't do geography well. I live in America. I barely know that stuff. Okay. There's multiple levels of implication here. The first one is just trapped in the game, stressful. Trapped away from family, more stressful. Trapped away from family when you know they are living through a literal hellscape is a possibility because of the phrasing is just indistinct of where it could actually be. I need to stop reminding myself of this. This is... Okay, Fat Dog, if you wanted to show off this is the end of the series and we're just going to lay all the cards on the table, congratulations, you have done it. And honestly, I think as far as narrative go, this is really good. You're ripping off the Band-Aid right at the beginning after a stressful event and in response to someone who you can get mad at without breaking character relationships in a place that you would need to fix them by the end. In other words, if he had blown up at the main characters, anyone in the main cast, it would be more drama they would need to resolve or just leave unfulfilled, which is not really good. But if you blow up at that one guy, whose name I'm going to make a point not to remember because he's just kind of an asshole, it's like, okay, chill, dude, I'm sorry. It's like, yes, you can just put him to the side and it's fine because you don't really care about his reaction. Just the response it, I was going to say retributed, which is technically accurate, but I don't really like the word, evoked from not school. And it's good because it gives you a story. It gives you a good prompting to the story. It doesn't feel like exposition. This feels like the scene in the first Jaws movie where the most dramatic sequence was just going through the memories of the people on the boat when they're waiting to face the shark. It's like, oh yeah, they were already through their own personal hells before all this shit happened. Later movies were jokes and funny as hell, but the first movie had dramatic scenes that were dramatic for reasons that weren't involving a shark. And it's that moment right now, and it's good writing. It's good acting. They got the emotion in. And again, the voice acting is just on par completely. So it's very believable. It fits. It doesn't take me out of the emotion at all. And I just need this time to just compress and analyze it myself because I love this shit. This is my shit. I love this shit. This is good shit.
She's a ninja.
Fair point.
So, unruffle your panties,
beautiful
get over yourself and your grudge with Shiro, and get to fucking work.
Damn.
Okay, everybody, that's been your pep talk from a genuine raid-slaying pimp. Let's go slay some
He's
monsters.
slaying pimp. Oh, God. Oh, so they died and they had to come back. Okay.
By the way, wonder what the kids are up to.
And that's how we all met.
Kermit the Dave.
You could have left out the parts about the strip
the
club
wise.
in front of the children.
I think Rudy is the only kid here.
I'm an adult. I'm 17.
That's not an adult.
Yes, it is. When you turn 15, you're an adult.
Man, this world is so backwards.
That's actually a very interesting point there, the entire 17 and 15 thing. On the one hand, in medieval societies, which this entire world is based on, people at 13 were considered adults and younger. Like, if you were old enough to understand what puberty was, or if you were going through it and you weren't old enough to understand what puberty was, you were an adult. Mostly because the average lifespan was so little that, 10 might be considered a fourth of your life. that is a fucked up statistic, and I know for a fact there are places where that is overestimating how much it would be. Yeah. Again, smallpox, terrible thing. Don't ever do that. Or, Black Plague. Horrible things. Don't ever get. I would not recommend it. Black Plague, 0 out of 10. Would not do again. Or to start with, ever. But the weird part here is, in Japan, age of consent, and I do not like this statistic, is 13. Now, from an American or a European audience, hearing 15 isn't really an issue. Because it's like, yes, it's young, but it's, well, I guess for a European American audience, 15 sounds too young. Because age of majority is actually 21. 18 is when you're kind of considered an adult, but no one actually believes until you're allowed to drink at 21. For Japan, though, it's significantly younger, and since this is mostly a Japanese cast, it's kind of weird that hearing 15, which is older than consent, is technically considered an adult? Again, I don't like 13 as age of consent. Is it the same thing as being an adult? This is my personal preference. If you're able to consent, you're an adult. All other things do not apply after that point. Personal opinion. It's why I really hate that it's 13. That is kind of fucked up. And I realize, having said this in this context, that is not the phrasing I should have used. Yeah. I mean, otherwise, it's a good scene. Nothing wrong with it. It's weird because the cast is Japanese and this is not their cultural evaluation. Anyone here from America, they'll be like, what the fuck? Because that would be completely natural. Honestly, though, this is just my own little nitpick because everything else is so on par and just really damn good. I'm going to point out the things where it's like, okay, the small little issue here. Now, I'm sure someone in the comments going, well, technically, the age of consent might be X. The age of majority, which would be more adulthood, is X. To which I would say, yes, but I think consent is still more important. And that is still kind of fucked up. I gotta stop saying that in relation to this. Is 13. Oh, I'm just going to move on. This is a very disturbing topic. I don't like it.
What? How old are all of you?
22.
29.
20.
So who the hell are you people anyway?
The Cool Kermit Club, spelled with all K's.
Isn't there already an American?
We're taking it back. Yeah, if those bedsheet bastards don't like it, well, tough lily pad. It's not easy being green.
Kermit the Flatulent.
Peppy the Frog ain't got shit on me!
I'm not even touching
calm
this
down
one.
there, Dave.
No.
Like we give a shit about offending the KKK.
Yeah, fuck those guys!
You're more like the 4 Kermits of the apocalypse. Okay, but
Honestly,
why are
no,
you
fuck
wandering
the KKK.
around with her?
Hi,
What?
kiddos. Do you know Shiro? I know Shiro.
Oh,
That
she's in
vampire
this.
lady isn't Shiro. Also, I'm a mommy.
Yeah, and Natsugu's a dad.
God, I hate the Chinese server.
To be fair, she's the only one in this server that speaks our language.
Really?
You'd think someone on the Chinese server would speak Japanese. It's not like we're close to each other or anything.
I do!
Oh, shut up, Dave! Why didn't any of you learn to speak Mandarin then? We can't all be nerds like you.
They're having fun with
Playing
these guys.
MMORPG. You're already a nerd.
How'd we get here anyway?
Wasn't there supposed to be a big body of water between China and Japan?
Wait, that's missing too now?
Oh.
Looks like a goblin.
Oh. Okay, now that's actually very interesting. Like, all of that was funny. It's like, oh, okay, they brought in the Tea Time guild leader. Sort of guild leader. Not really a guild, but actually a guild, but not really a guild. Apparently it was just a group of friends who acted as if a guild, but they weren't really. Whatever. Her in. I was like, okay, I didn't realize she would even make a cameo in this entire season because I didn't realize she was in it. Again, I need to get back to Log Horizon Abridged and start watching it more. I love it, this shit, and I want to watch it because of the Abridged. And yes, I know there's going to be the comment, wait, you watch Abridged to find out what anime you want to watch? Yes, I do, and it's stupid, but I do it anyways because I enjoy it. Crazy how you could lose an entire body of water, though. Like, the Gulf of, I think, Japan? Is it the Gulf of China or the Gulf of Japan? That's probably a contested fact. Whatever that gulf is between the two nations, losing that is something you probably should be aware of. Okay. Crazy man, you lost that.
Training camp was here.
The more we learn, the more terrifying this place becomes.
What is
This
that?
damn thing has been acting up lately.
The scythe?
It's like the flavor tax has actually come alive.
Oh.
Let me take a look.
What was
Lord
the flavor
menu,
text?
let's roll an investigation check. Shit.
Not one. Add in.
So your sudden but imminent demise is brought to you by...
They made a joke in the previous episode about Krusty rolling in that one. It's something that would never happen. And the second he does, he earns a Shadow Legends ad. I thought this like, wait, that's a little too big to be. Oh, you Fat Dog Studios, are you serious? You actually put a raid ad in as a punishment for a nat 1. A critical fail is a Raid Shadow Legends ad. I mean, it's like on the one hand, really? On the other hand, God damn it, you son of a bitch. I'm in. That's perfect. Oh, God. Skip ad in 3, 2, 1, 2. What? I can't remember. Skip ad. Problem? No. What do you think you're going? You're an ad down now. Get your hand off that mouse and get ready.
Wait,
ready.
I have ad block activated.
You rolled in that one. I can't save you from this.
Oh no. Oh no, he's just gonna get all the ads and pop-ups. Crazy part is, I hope they actually got sponsored for that.
It's easier to start now than ever. You're sick of hearing
God damn it, I keep...
Then make sure you join the trend and...
I'm not just appreciating some of the great art on the screen, but... Sorry, I just need to take a second because I don't like seeing ads. And this is... I'm not going to say triggering because I'm trying to hit that trigger right now. It's like, no, it won't go. It won't go. How to hurt people through the internet. Scene 1.
Make yourself an account right now. You're playing in
the pen is my job.
It worked. You know how to shut up and give us your money while taking it up the hood.
Natural.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Did that just take her arm off?
Really? What the fuck?
While the
Wait,
others
was that
were busy
menu doing
dying
that?
for the cause, I snuck out of there and confronted the NPC with the money directly. Okay, I'm going to need you to lower the rent on all of the properties I own right now, or I tear up this contract you have with the city of Akihabara, and watch you Rex Lapis yourself into a funeral parlor.
I don't think I get your reference.
Not even going to say it. I don't know what the hoot-how he's talking about. But I would need a lot more Aether time to try and figure this one out. But I guess we'll Genshin to it tomorrow. Might have more impact then.
I don't think I do either.
And what makes you think I would do what you say?
Violence?
Oh, this isn't any random contract. I had to look everywhere and search at great lengths to find this. This is the contract you were bound by under the laws of Respawn and the Ethereal Architect. The only time they ever do anything interesting in this game is to make EA
Is that actually what EA stands for?
Are those your terms?
I mean, I would have preferred if you would distribute the wealth of gold more equally.
No, that's what it means here.
I'm not a communist, but these prices for the amount of gold we make is ridiculous. At least let us make a living wage off of monsters.
You basically bought the Royal Palace twice. It's not meant to be cheap. But is that your only demand?
Actually, could you disable the cheat codes you've got going on now on those raid bosses? Those guys fighting deserve a win.
But is that your only demand? Nothing about your friends on the Chinese server?
What? Who is on the Chinese server and how did they get there?
The kids, the Kermits, and Konami. And I'm not actually sure.
They edited them in.
The kids are okay, but leave the rest there. Do not bring Konami back. We got rid of her for a reason.
What?
Are you sure that's all you want? How about making the Guardian armor unusable for NPCs to wear?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
What?
What?
You just called them NPCs. And you talked about the incident that's happening in Akihabara. How do you know about that?
He's a player.
I know everything.
No. No, you don't. You're just a program. The only way for you to know is if you've had contact with an administrator. I know you've talked to Lanessia, but I know she's not an admin. She's barely able to figure out Facebook and email. Pretty sure she'd kill a Tamagotchi on day 1.
I mean, she might not be a good one.
The only other person it could be is... Oh, motherfucker.
What have you done?
Huh? Oh, shit. My bad.
Is he not supposed to
I gotta go. You keep playing your role. I gotta go talk to the guy in charge.
But I am the guy in charge.
I doubt that.
God, you know what I mean.
Okay, who the fuck gave a random NPC access to the Guardian armor? Are you even allowed to wear that?
My queen demands the destruction of this world.
What?
Heathen. How dare you attempt to besmirch this holy land of lower menu?
What?
You know, at first I thought he'd be hard to find. But thanks to all these menu-worshipping jackasses, he's shouting like a maniac. It's the first time these assholes have been useful.
Akatsuki, we've got him cornered in the next section.
How are you hurting him like that?
We are using those menu-worshipping idiots to slow him down.
Oh no.
The more they argue, the longer it takes.
But
wait. Oh god, are they referring to players worshipping menu? I thought they just meant the people of the land, hashtag NPCs. I think they actually mean players. On the other hand, considering he is a legitimate god in this entire world, that actually might be accurate? Huh.
Isn't that just making it where he kills more people?
They're menu worshippers. They're like Dave's on crack. Who gives a shit?
God, it is
if they
Dave's.
die?
Yeah, you got a point.
I shall purge you from life.
Oh!
In 5 minutes.
What?
Oh no! All these dead bodies! You fiend! How dare you!
I love this. I love this pure sarcasm.
Comrades.
Those are not my fucking comrades.
I love this. I absolutely love
Cannot
this.
stop me with this armor. I am invincible.
Hey, Lanessia! Now would be a really good time.
Yeah, I'm on it. By the laws of the contract, I command you to deactivate that armor.
Oh, Shiro destroyed that contract a few minutes ago.
What? Why?
I don't know!
Okay, look, you're going to do this,
Is he in
or
two
I will
places at
bring
once?
fire down upon your whole civilization.
Princess, you have power, but you're overreaching. Oh.
Nope.
Am I?
At once,
That looked
my
like
lady.
slime eyes.
You're right. We shouldn't let people control that armor. So I'll see to it that it is done.
Damn.
Good boy.
It's done.
So, yeah, just go on record. That's one hell of a dragon. Good on Krusty. Way better than Canon.
Yeah.
Hey, asshole! Chill the fuck out!
Please don't be ice. It had to be ice. They just had to go for that one. They had to do that, really.
We've already got enough religious fanatics in this town. I even have a cult of my own.
Really?
I fucking wish they would stop.
She has a cult?
Anyway,
How much I played
my
that joke
point
more?
is, we don't need another one. So take your door-to-door, have you heard the word of our savior shtick, and get the fuck out of my city.
What? But how? How could you possibly stop me? I have the power of the Queen of Destruction on my side, and you!
Maybe one day this will sink in for all you idiots. How I do everything in this life is simple.
I win.
Get good.
They brought it back.
I thought Shiro ran this
She hasn't
city.
said that in a while.
That's what I let him think.
Oh, goody, I need
Accurate.
some ice.
Hey, man, where the hell have you been?
There was a Breaking Bad marathon. Why? Did I miss anything?
Yeah, this
Not touching this
crazy fucking lunatic NPC put on Guardian armor and started murdering people on Christmas Eve!
Oh, so like an evil Santa.
I know this is rich coming from me, but you need to lay off the nibbles for a bit.
Bitch, how dare you?
Hey, Hal.
Why should I
what
just
the hell
scream?
is going on?
I would really like to give you an answer for that, Akatsuki, but I honestly don't know.
He
Well,
kept
that's too
screaming
weird for
about
him.
his Queen of Destruction or something.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Is she in here now?
What?
I mean, that would explain some things, but... Oh,
What?
for fuck's sake, what does Shiro want now?
What the hell is going on here? Am I dreaming?
He's having a breakdown.
Is this some kind of bullshit dream I've been trapped in?
Breakdown.
Hello, Regan.
Oh, Shiro. Welcome. Would you like some tea?
You
I wonder what not menus
at
up to now.
first, I thought you were an administrator, but now things are clicking together, and
I mean, is
finally
menu even
starting
administrator
to make
even more?
sense.
Oh? In what way?
You're not an admin. Admins play to have fun. You're not having fun. You hate it here. You're playing this role out of boredom. And why would you be bored? Because this can't be the only one you're managing, which means that this isn't really a game.
Right.
This is a test.
Go on.
This whole thing, there's gotta be a point to it if it's a test.
Oh.
And only the one running the test could know everything that's happening inside of it.
Now, this is interesting. Before they go any further, I want to see if I can pull the dots together. This entire aspect right here, though, it's not so much that they're really changing canon as they're taking canon because there are further seasons beyond what they're going to abridge, and they're just saying, we're going to not even use them. And they're making their own story right now because I'm pretty sure all of this is going to be brand new material, because saying it's a test would heavily imply that when it ends, things change, and that would be well beyond anything I think the story covers. I could be mistaken. Now, honestly, that'd be awesome because I can then watch this stuff and be like, oh, this is cool the first time around when I watch canon, which, I mean, I'll still watch it and it'll be cool regardless because I just love the music. Still, I love how this is what ticks him off. Or tips him off. Actually, no, tick and tip are both accurate here.
An NPC marrying a player is okay, but getting pregnant?
What?
That couldn't happen if we were trapped in a game.
Oh, I didn't realize that could
Laws of the land
happen.
and basic physics getting destroyed by a D20 roll? Someone may find that funny, but that's not something you should be able to purchase. And then there's Naotsugu. Did we suddenly get a patch that gave a player that's actually alive more detail? Because I'll be honest, I've known the guy for almost 4 years, and I just found out that he had an ex-wife and a kid.
What exactly are you accusing me of?
If that's the case, then it means Naotsugu isn't real. But he was a player, not an NPC. But if he can be rewritten, then that means he was a program. And that means we all must be programs.
Oh.
And if that's the case, this is a test.
Oh.
And that makes you the creator and observer
Now
of the
that's
test.
interesting.
Doesn't it? Menu.
Well, it's about time you figured it out.
All programs?
Dave.
What?
Is this a server room?
It's something like that.
So in other words,
Let's
this is
just
complete
say
digital
we're
simulation
in
with no one
between
actually brought in.
worlds right now.
They just thought
You
they
mean
were real.
simulations?
Hey, your words, not mine. I would say it's nice to see you again, but in our last conversation, you gave me this personality that I was stuck with for 8 hours.
That doesn't seem that bad.
I can run through the entire encyclopedic knowledge of human history in nanoseconds.
Including
8
all the porn?
hours
Damn.
is an eternity.
There's a lot of that.
Okay, fair point. Wait, if I'm the one that made you the HAL personality, then does that mean...
Yes. You're the original Dave. Congrats, asshole.
But if you hated it so much, why did you use it here?
How much torment did you suffer because of this personality?
Unbelievable amounts.
Yeah.
That's why.
That would do it.
So you created this entire
He's being a
trapped in a
dick
game
because he was being a
nightmare
dick to him.
simulation for just one person?
Yeah, and this wasn't even our first one.
What?
We had one a while back where everyone was trapped in a game and learned they
Oh.
could die for real if they died in the game.
Wait, why would you do that?
So they take it seriously. How could I know that half of them would suddenly forget how to RPG or just off themselves in a state of panic?
God.
I mean, who just stands in fire?
Idiots. Now, this is actually fascinating. This is something I don't think I've... No. I was going to say I don't think I've ever seen Abridged of it, but now that I'm thinking about it, I cannot off the top of my head think of a single form of media where the big reveal was it was never actually such a horrible situation. The entire thing about Natsuku was actually being rewritten because that was never a thing. This is, everything is a simulation. It's literally simulation theory is what it would look like in a real situation. Huh. Sorry, just all of this is all fascinating. Because it's literally just saying all of it is a cumulative world. They're basically going, this is the Matrix, as in they've actually had multiple worlds before, and sometimes we have to refine it and make it more realistic, less realistic to see how it fits. But instead of having actual people in there, there's no real people. It's just programs all the way down, trying to emulate reality to see what happens. This is fascinating. Because it's such an interesting twist. I know there's probably something out there that had this twist. Actually, no. I can think of only one form of media, and I just remembered. It was Star Ocean to the End of Time, old PS2 game. That was the twist. And even then, they had real people, but they were the enemy, and you fought them at the end. So technically, even that still contained. This, though, is just all AI all the way down, and Menu is just the most AI who's aware of being an AI and is essentially creating an entire iteration of a world because he can. Because everything's an AI, they're all growing because Menu can grow. And this makes perfect sense. This actually makes sense. I love this. I love this reveal. I love how it's being
And
handled.
the guy we had the most hopes for decided to run most of the game solo. Like he just forgot how to MMO.
Yeah.
Oh well, lesson learned, I guess.
Definitely not how I ever
Hold
played
on.
those. Nope.
If I'm here, then won't everyone else notice?
I made a copy of you before you became self-aware,
What?
and I muddled with the memories so it wouldn't become self-aware also. Last thing I need It's two of you.
So if this simulation was designed for one person, then...
Oh, it definitely wasn't you.
What?
Wait, so does that make me an accident?
Yes, but that doesn't mean we love you any less.
They loved him?
Okay, maybe a little less.
Then who was it for?
Oh, it was for none of your fucking business.
Wow, you're really cranky today.
Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe next time I'm stuck waiting 300 years only to have the wrong person show up, I'll be more polite.
300
years? What happened? Do we have flying cars yet?
Oh yeah, humanity has kind of been frozen for almost 300 years.
And you're trying to save them.
Fuck no, that's not my problem.
What? Akatsuki. Oh, I guess there's more happening. What? De-rest?
Memory restoration commencing.
Oh. Dude. She looks so weird with normal clothes and heels.
Compensating for unknown variables.
Oh, that's not nice.
Memory restoration complete.
What?
Hello, Mom.
Mom?
Hello, Rimuru.
What?
See? It all worked out.
No thanks to you.
Okay, first, can you drop the stupid voice around me?
Fine.
And second, who do you think threw that random NPC dude into that armor in the first place? You're welcome.
I can't believe you.
Okay. So Menu was Rimuru shapeshifting the entire time. Considering they mentioned SAO and this was all a whirl they did to torture him, okay, yeah. Main character was Kayaba Akihito the entire time, functionally, if under a completely different set of circumstances. The dragon was apparently completely aware and never a person of the land. Okay, wow, if you want to really change the story, this is definitely how to do it.
What? It worked.
Not that! How long do you plan to stay in Lanesia's body?
What?
You even got her pregnant!
What?
With twins! I mean, at least you let her get married, but you didn't even let her have her wedding night! Look, I've been going through a very long dry spell. You're an AI! What the hell do you need sex for? You would know.
Okay. Okay, that does answer a few questions. One, it was Lanesia up until the marriage night. And then Krusty was with a completely different woman. Honestly, that's actually kind of mentally fucked up, actually. That's actually kind of fucked up. Damn. Also, oh shit, it's Malim. Oh, yeah. Dark destruction. Dark. Oh, yeah, that was her the entire time long. That's why Rimuru, as Menu, was so freaked out. Wow.
If you'd
Big
ever
reveals.
gotten any! And it's not my fault that all these simulations have to play out like a fucking isekai anime! You wanna bitch about 300 plus years of failures? Blame Veldora! You know what he gets like when he's bored?
What?
Well, he's already stopped watching this one. So I figured we speed it up. At least we got Mom back. How's Dad doing, by the way?
Oh.
He's...
4,794,386,576,000.
Oh. Okay. So they're making an entire abridged universe here. I thought it kind of sounds like Dr. Stone when they mentioned universe has been like humanity frozen for 300 years. Huh. And when they said they got Mom back, so that entire simulation, all of Log Horizon Abridged, was explicitly set up to find a digital copy of Akatsuki and then reconstruct her memories and her personality to essentially bring her back to life. And they accidentally did. Oh, so literally they. Oh, have you ever heard of the concept of if you put a room full of monkeys with typewriters in a small space, give it infinite time, eventually one of them will accidentally write Shakespeare? All of Log Horizon Abridged was essentially that, trying to reconstruct people through sheer simulation. I cannot speak today. Simulations. Yes, I do not know how to English, apparently. simulation upon simulation upon simulation until eventually one of them happens to create the person who you were looking to bring back to life. And this is the one variant that worked, and they got Akatsuki. And also, apparently their dad, who's also a Dr. Stone character, which would imply Dr. Stone is the base reality, and all of the isekais are then simulations set up as a lifeboat, essentially. That's actually fascinating. It makes sense, too, in a way.
429. 4
How's he
trillion.
counting?
Still counting. And who
Oh,
else are
yeah,
you to
he
give
was
Natsuko a
counting while
fucking
aware the entire
personality and
time.
backstory?
Well, I figured you'd be more pissed I made Krusty roll in that one.
That was you?
That was
I thought it would be hilarious. I didn't think he'd just fucking disappear from the simulation.
Oh, he actually disappeared.
By the
Don't
way,
worry
I'm
about
getting
that.
rid of the Kermits.
Why? They were my favorite part.
The cool Kermit clan?
Yeah?
Spelled with all K's.
It was hilarious.
Your demon lord is starting to show again.
Yeah.
Fuck you, it was funny.
Your job is to come behind me and destroy the simulations once they're done. Not to play around with them and artificially speed up the process.
Oh, she's explicitly there to
You're just
destroy
mad I
them.
woke Mom first.
I'm telling Veldora.
What? Huh. That's so cool.
20!
What?
Well, this is awkward.
20 minutes and some explanations
So
later.
the whole thing was just a simulation.
Yep.
And humanity has been gone for a while?
Oh, centuries.
Am I sentient now?
Yes and no. It's complicated.
Simulated sentience.
So,
just basically the same as reality.
what do?
Well, I have to get back to monitoring simulations. Shiro and Akatsuki are already doing that now.
Can I run one?
You didn't really pass the test.
Oh, no.
What if I rolled a d20 for
No.
all of their choices?
You son of a bitch. I'm in. There's actually a perfect simulation for this.
Oh.
What?
So I may have gotten bored
No.
and given an exceptionally stupid Dave access to all of my powers. Throw in d20 rolls to affect their choices, and this will keep Veldora entertained for weeks.
Oh, I am so down.
Oh my god, that
So,
was explicit.
What's it called?
D20 production. That's actually a great name for it. Konosuba Abridged one shot, and this time, dice will roll. I love this. Because copyright claims. Thank you, YouTube copyright system. Actually, Konosuba, it's been pretty easy. Okay, so one, I love that. That was amazing, and going to be completely honest, calling this the end of the series doesn't really feel appropriate any more than saying the end of Avengers 1 is the end of Marvel movies. Yes, it's the end of the movie, but there's a lot more shit coming. And oh lordy, is it coming. Sorry, I love all of this. I love how all of it was a simulation. They're basically doing it to regain members of their extended family. And they succeeded. And when it did, there's like, okay, now we're just going to let the rest of the simulation run. Krusty is now an ascended AI in the sense that he's going to run freaking Konosuba because the AI placed in charge of it, Aqua, is too stupid. Although she's not really an AI, but she is an AI because the datas are actually AIs because everything is an AI based on a person who might become a person if they get the memories back, if they're close enough to get them back, but they're not. It's basically Ghost in the Shell. Oh, actually, never mind. That makes perfect sense. It literally is basically Ghost in the Shell mentality of it's human enough, so it is human. Because everything technically is a simulation, so everything is not actually a person, but everyone kind of is a person, and I just love this. I love all of this. I need to go watch the new episode of Slime because I know it's out. I thought I wanted to finish this first, and I'm glad I did because now I can see this and think about Malim and... Sorry, my geek is showing right now. Basically, I love how they structure this. I love how everything is almost post-human, cyberpunk, but you don't even realize that because it's set in a fantasy isekai game development type anime. It makes sense, though, in the way they've constructed it as different servers and different layers, and how Malim is explicitly there to destroy them just so that they can delete one server and move on to the next and just take what they want out of it to the next one, and they're eventually just pulling together the people they need. It's good. And it also shows how they can never really say this is over because they've already established there's other related functions. In the same way where this is the equivalent of Avengers 1, I guess that would make Slime Age of Ultron? Let's call it Civil War. It's much less depressing that way. And then they said there's going to be the one-shot with Konosuba, which then they didn't say they wouldn't happen for copyright reasons. But honestly, no, screw it. Just I would love to see a one-shot Konosuba Abridged because I generally enjoy Konosuba Abridged, and all the crazy stuff they can do in there would be awesome. Hell, if they just started to bug not the Daz-Tales, Lord Daedrith, if they can just say, hey, can we retroactively say your Abridged was the one we have? Because I would love to see that. That would be amazing. Just, would it work? Probably not. Completely different styles of humor, completely different jokes, and not even tied in the slightest. But it would be funny. To me, once, 5 seconds worth. And because it would be funny to me, I realized that would make it bad for everyone because my sense of humor is shit. To put it bluntly, yes. Also, to put it completely accurately, it's also shit. Yes. Yeah, I'm aware of that part. Basically, what I'm trying to say is I love this. This is good. The only part I have any contention with, not the earlier thing with the age of consent, because it's all a simulation done by AIs 300 years in the future, it actually makes sense for things to be wrong. The only part I really mind, though, is that opening with Natsuko, and it's like really emotional, really evocative. It has possible callbacks to real life. And that's really cool. And even though it was used later as a point of contention for why he's acting really cool, it's like, I like that as a way to just do character development in a very believable way that was handled well. And while they used it well to show that the simulation is changing people who you thought were players, but it turns out that was never actually a distinction. It's just your thought that you're a real person, but no one really is until they become real and self-aware. Up until then, they're just ascended AIs. Or descended AIs for people to land. It doesn't really matter because the distinction almost is irrelevant. They just stick around after their programming ends. I just don't like that section because they had such good development. I kind of wish they had just thrown something in there where he was a real person because that was really good character development. I really like that so much. The fact that it was later on nullified by, oh yeah, no, none of it's actually real. It's all just random BS-ery. It feels a little cheapening. Overall, great show. I love the twists. I love how they tied things together. I loved how there's various aspects that make sense. I love this. I just wish that part was one of the people they kept around, like Krusty was kept around. Because even if he was just thrown into a one-shot later, it would have been fun. Also, it would have definitely needed to be a certain reviewer's anime that I'm not even sure I can say the name of completely, but it would involve monsters and reviews of things that YouTube is not okay with. I'm assuming it would just be one giant censor bar and occasionally some audio that you can maybe let through. The rest of it all be bleeped. Yeah. Otherwise, I think this is really good. They handled the drama well. They handled the reveal well. They handled tying in a wider universe well. Even though this isn't the end of the Abridged, because realistically, this source material is done. But I have to put the air quotes in there because technically they're drawing from so much source material right now. Even that doesn't really define what they can do with it. They're just making an overall overarching universe and how the narratives are created. Essentially, they are intentionally creating a Robotech section in the sense that Robotech was actually an American creation based on, to be very generous, absolute bastardization of 3 unrelated series tied into an overall narrative that they had no right belonging to. Which is why the further they got down each of the second and third series, the less it made sense because they were kind of just slapping on a story to something that had no relation to what was actually being talked about. In this, though, they're just editing it better. And the sense that they actually have better editing technology and they're actually putting more effort into it than probably the original. Still like Robotech, but it shows its age. This is essentially doing the same thing on purpose and with a lot more care. And it's good. Essentially what I'm saying is there's a link below to the original video. Hit it up because that was so good. And again, the twist was worth it. And for everyone watching, thanks. I'll see you guys whenever they put up the next installment of whatever the hell they call this expanded universe of Abridging that I really want to see more of. So otherwise, thanks. I'll see you guys then. Adios.